Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California's sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 7025 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
It's Kristie J from the Chisholm Report. You're tuned in to Hot 702.5. Come talk shit and politics with Kristie J from the Chisholm Report every Saturday at 10 a.m. on hot7025fm.com.
This is Hot 702.5.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Kristie, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
This is Kristen Gamer, and you are tuned into my mom, Kristie J.
Yeah, election time's coming. Who you gonna vote for? Yeah, if I was president, I'd get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. Instead of spending billions on the war, I can use that money so I can feed the poor, 'cause I know some so poor. When it rains, that's when they shower, scream and fight the power. That's when the vulture devours. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. I know some soldiers that sleep but they can't dream, wake up with screams, sounds of M16. So take this medal of honor for your bravery. I wish you the best, kid, you and your family. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if was president.
But the radio won't play this. They call it rebel music. How can you refuse it? Children of Moses, tell the children the truth, the truth.
It's not all that bling that's diamond.
Tell them the truth, the truth.
Most of y'all wear cubic zirconian.
Tell them the truth, yeah.
Your soul is worth more than diamonds.
If I was president, all blacks, I had reparation, no segregation, feed the nation so there's no famine. Muslims, Jews, Christians, with all whole hands every week on the beach, party by the sand. Word up, take trips on Air Force One. Don't need to bring the homeless with no sneaks to Air Force One. Better schools in the hood, better teachers for the classes, making money, paying no tax. Find the best scientists, tell them come up with an answer. I want the cure for AIDS and cancer, but I gotta watch my back. Snipers on the hill with the steel, waiting to JF
I was president. I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, I feel the rain coming. Let me play my guitar for them right now.
Let's go.
Refugees.
Good morning, all. This is Kristie. Good morning, all. This is Kristie J, and I am on the Chisholm Report, baby. This is Saturday morning, and we are going to try to get this all together for you. So, first, let me say that Chisholm Report is named after Shirley Chisholm, which was the first black woman to run for president. My platform is to be able to make sure that you are aware of what's happening with government politics, local politics, candidates, bills, rights, and things like that that come along with us and how it affects us on an everyday basis. I feel like my show is very, very important because it allows you to be able to say, okay, you know what? I'm not really into that. When I'm watching the news, I normally turn the channel because that gets on my nerves, or I just can't understand it, or whatever the case may be. Let me be your outlet, okay? Because I'm going to give it to you exactly how it comes off. I'm giving to you with facts. I will give my opinion, but I will always tell you when it's my opinion and when it is facts, okay? When we sit and we actually watch the news and stuff like that, I kind of get upset. And I wanted to start like a little, almost like a podcast type thing where I'm sitting and yelling at the screen, because that's what I do when I'm at home, okay? Cursing out each one of the news outlets, because I feel like they either only give one side to it, they don't explain everything, they only show what they want you to see to be able to push their agenda, and that sucks to me, okay? I want you to make intelligent decisions with your life and make intelligent reasons for voting, okay? It's hard for me to watch my people. Right now in Nevada, we have one of the lowest turnout rates for voting right now. And it hurts me because we don't understand how powerful we really are. Okay. So it's important for me to be able to let you guys know what's happening and why it affects us. So my first question of the day is, do you know anyone with COVID today? Okay. If you do, go ahead and put that into the comments or call in 702-551-5261. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. You want to share it to a different platform, please do that for me, and make sure that we have visibility on the real shit, because right now we go talk shit in politics, okay? So I do have a clip that I wanted to go into. On Thursday, we were able to sit down with Cameron Miller, who is running for City Council of Ward 5, okay? I just want to be able to give you guys some more just about who he is and where he's running. Today, I also will go over some of the stuff that is on the ballot. Okay, I don't want to show you my address, but I'm going to show you guys who I'm voting for and how am I answering the questions that's on this ballot. Okay, and I was also able. My neighbor let me see her non-partisan ballot. Okay, and her non-partisan ballot looks like crap. Doesn't look like anything is on there. All right. And I'm going to talk about that too. Okay. But I want to be able to go into that clip so you guys can see some of that interview that we did Thursday for Cameron Miller. Let's go ahead and go into the clip and we can discuss after.
It's so many.
It's a rotation that you got to hit.
And people should know more about that.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you for my 5 questions. I'm going to go ahead and now go into more questions about your campaign and you and your focus on this. Okay, so explain to me what made you want to be in this position.
So I served in the state legislature for 2 terms. I never saw myself really involved in politics, but once I decided to get involved and saw the impact that I could make, I did some really big things on the state level as it relates to protecting the future of our youth, empowering the future of our youth, and protecting people's livelihoods, their money, their cars, things like that. And so I was able to see that on the city council level, you actually are able to do that type of work full circle, more directly, more impact. You're able to directly impact economic development.
Yes.
What is built on what lot? What does that look like? How does it impact the community?
Exactly.
Do you have community buy-in for it? What's going to actually build jobs? How are you going to grow and support businesses? And so all of those types of things became, really important to me in ways in which I could see being able to make a huge impact in the community that, like I said, shaped me into who I am today.
Okay. And give me your ward. Where is your ward? Where's Ward 5?
So Ward 5 is, thank you for the question because
I was born and raised in Ward 5.
Come on,
let's
Ward
go
5.
Go.
Yeah, so Ward 5 starts downtown. Mm-hmm. It's like around Bruce to the east. Then you have Fremont Street. So pretty much everything Fremont Street north to North Las Vegas is Ward 5. Then once you come across the Spaghetti Bowl, you have the Smith Center, you have Symphony Park, that whole area. And then it kind of nestles between the 95 freeway and North Las Vegas all the way around to Lone Mountain, if you will. Now it's a little jagged because borders and boundaries are a little jagged around lines. But for the most part, that is a good idea of where folks are.
Okay. What happened?
All right. So I just wanted to give you guys a little piece of the interview. I think it was a great interview. He had great energy. He's worked with the community before, and I just like him. I want people to be very real. He got movies on Tubi. Those things bring life to people, so you can understand where they come from. He is a born and raised native of Las Vegas. He talked about his growing up here, the things that he did, careers that he's had, and I felt like he was someone that if something was going on in my ward and I needed to be able to speak to him about it, I could be able to. I think that he would try to get things done for me, and he has my vote. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that. Okay. So, before we go ahead and jump into everything, I just wanted to be able to show you that clip real quick before we went into anything else. I want to talk to you about, charities and resources moving forward. Okay. So the 23rd annual Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival on the 15th of, June, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Expo at World Market Center on 435 South Grand Central. Okay, this is put on by Rainbow Dreams Educational Foundation. And it was they have a lot of sponsors. I saw it was Google. It was Zappos. It was a lot of people. Okay. And I think that last year we took the kids. We had a great time. I was able to see 702, even though there was only a 2. That was good for me though. She sang the mess out of them songs. There was local acts that was there, DJs, food vendors that were outside. Shouts out to a couple of them that was out there. And it was a good time. They had an area for the kids. You had vendors and stuff like that. People were selling all type of things there. Come out is a free event. We want to make sure that we're being able to go to these events to make sure that they can be able to put them on every year and show up for our culture. I know that I have gotten into it with a couple of different leaders, black activists, things like that want to say, well, y'all letting them give you Juneteenth. They didn't give us Juneteenth. We took Juneteenth, and that's what we had. Now, for them to make it a holiday, yeah, they gave it to us in the middle of a time where we were not being where we were out there protesting and stuff like that. Instead of giving us real equality, they gave us a holiday we already had. And it's a floating holiday for certain people. I don't even that kind of pisses me off a little bit. But the purpose is they didn't give us Juneteenth. Okay, our people decided that was the day that they were going to celebrate their independence from being from Galveston, Texas, being the last place to know that they were free. Okay, 2 years after they had already been free. And it's important for you to know the history behind it and not just hear people say stuff and then you just run with it. Okay, support your people so we can be able to learn more, so we can be able to make sure that we're celebrating ourselves and showing our kids what our history is. We have to start somewhere. Okay. We have the Revive and Thrive Festival. It's today, Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. from 4 to 4 p.m. Come for the yoga, stay for the party. Okay. It is free entry, but it is $35 to be able to do the holistic journey workshop, which involves herbal tea ceremony, guided meditation, sound bath, yoga, and this is hosted by Rooted in Flow Yoga and Wellness and the City of Las Vegas. This is going to be at the East Las Vegas Community Center, 250 Northeastern Avenue. Okay. If you feel like you want to go and try something new, I know there's a couple of my friends said this is a new year for them. They've either gone vegan or stop eating McDonald's. And hey, go and enjoy yourself and have a good time. Okay, and then we also have the City of Las Vegas government is hiring for before and after school programs starting June the 12th and the 13th. This is going to be at 835 North Las Vegas Boulevard. They're looking for site leaders, site assistants, and site behavior trainers. Okay. So if you need a job or you got a teenager or something like that, somebody that doesn't need a full schedule but want to make some money, this would be a great way for you guys to be able to get in with that. Okay. All right. So I wanted to, when I looked at the ballot, and at first I was sitting there with my neighbor, and my neighbor was telling me that they're nonpartisan, right? And I was like, hey, no problem. Everybody should be voting very selfishly. I do not call myself a Democrat, a Republican, or independent, Green Party, or anything like that. I'm voting for the best candidate for my reasons, for my household, okay? And sometimes that might not be a Democrat. Sometimes that might not be a Republican. Sometimes that might not be anybody, okay, in the position. And I will explain that also, especially when you only have one person that's running for that seat. And we're going to talk about that too. I don't like that. Okay, so I have a clip. I want to be able to go into that. We're going to talk about why your mayor is not on the ballot. And the ballot, that's very it really disturbs me with that, because this is a very, very important role for your city. So let's go ahead and go into the clip and we'll discuss after.
Residents have been calling our newsroom. They're asking a very common question. Why is the race for Las Vegas mayor not on my ballot?
Well, as senior political reporter Steve Sebelius explains, the answer is simple, but also a little confusing.
We've had several people call or email us asking why aren't the candidates for mayor on my ballot? One of those recent calls came from a viewer named Mildred who says she lives in Las Vegas and wants to vote in that election. Well, Mildred, here's the answer. This is Clark County, where we all live. As you can see here, the cities of Boulder City, Henderson, Las Vegas, and North Las Vegas. Only people who live in those city boundaries can vote for city council members and mayors. The rest of this area is unincorporated Clark County. If you live there, and it turns out Mildred does, you can't vote in city elections. Now let's take a look at the city of Las Vegas. The southern boundary is roughly here at Sahara. If you live south of that boundary, you're in Clark County. Now it gets confusing. Parts of Summerlin are in the city, and parts of Summerlin are outside city limits. That means a person on one side of the street might be voting for mayor, but their neighbor across the street can't. And it gets really confusing when you see these pockets of county land totally surrounded by the city. Residents in those pockets can't vote for mayor either. But as Mildred pointed out, mailing addresses in the city and the county all say Las Vegas. That makes figuring out where you live even harder. But we have some help for you on that as well. All right, we start with a Google search for who's my county commissioner. That takes us to this link, which is a website put on by Clark County. And here you can search by your home address or business address. I'm going to enter the address here for Channel 13. Although I don't live here, I am here a lot. Click on that, and not only do you get a map, but you also get this website. Click down here on elected officials, and you can see everyone who represents your area. And as you can see here, we, like many of you, are not in the city of Las Vegas. We're in Clark County, so we can't vote for mayor either. If you didn't catch that web address, don't worry. It'll be on our website at ktnv.com under.
Okay, so yes, that means that some people are not actually able to vote on the primary for your mayor. Okay, and that sucks, because this is a very important role, especially locally. That clip is being followed by this clip that I want to be able to put up, which is what's the purpose of the mayor and why is it important to us locally? Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the clip, and then we can be able to talk about that. Has anybody answered the question inside of for today? The question of today is, do you know anyone with COVID? Anywhere. They might not live here. They might be somewhere else. Do you know anybody? You don't have to say their name, but just say yes or no. Okay. We got the clip ready to go. Let's go ahead and go into the clip, and we'll be right back.
In the United States, we have 3 branches of government at both the state and federal level. Simply put, the legislature makes the laws, the judicial branch decides what they mean and if they're legal, and the executive branch enforces them. At the state level, the executive branch is led by a governor, and at the local level, the chief executive is often called a mayor, and their job has the most potential to impact your daily life. A municipal government is the local body that runs a town or city. The mayor is elected by the citizens of that town to be the head of their municipality. And it is a lot of responsibility. As the chief executive of the town, the mayor oversees the town's various agencies and departments that keep the town running. This includes managing the police and fire departments, public works such as roads and water, any parks that the city owns, as well as the prosecutor and public defender's offices. In some cases, the mayor works with what's known as a city administrator or manager, appointed by the mayor or town council to oversee the day-to-day activities of departments while the mayor takes care of the many other things on their plate. Much like the way the president interacts with Congress to enact their agenda, mayors generally work closely with their city's legislative body often referred to as a city or town council. The mayor's exact role can differ depending on where you live. In some cases, a town's mayor presides over council meetings and breaks ties in a vote. Much like our president can do with Congress, a mayor can often veto a town council's ordinance, another word for the local legislation passed by a council. And, much like our levels of government, a veto can often be overridden if it receives the required level of votes from the council. The mayor is also the go-to spokesperson for the city. They'll represent the city at important meetings and respond to the media about a variety of topics affecting the town. The mayor also has the power to declare a state of emergency in a natural disaster or public health crisis. This opens the city up to federal and state aid to help get the town back on its feet. Finally, a less official but fun role of a mayor is to be a sort of social figurehead for the town. This means genuinely listening to their constituents' ideas and concerns, even if they didn't vote for them. Mayors often attend events that commemorate aspects of their town and can help set the cultural tone for the people who live there. If the mayor is out celebrating their city, it may be more likely for the town citizens to take notice and
So just to kind of give you an understanding why it's important, did you hear all those things that they're involved in? So your city council, which is basically your first hand of defense, okay? Those are the people that you go to tell them what you need in your community, and they are responsible for you. Like, if we were to break it down like a school, okay, your city council would be like your front desk people, your teachers, things like that, okay? Well, your front desk people and everybody else that helps to run the school, okay? Then the second line of defense would be like your senators and elected officials, which would be like judges, not councilmen, but like commissioners, things like that. Okay, that would be like your teachers, your counselors, stuff like that. And then your principal, dean, and stuff like that is like, that's your mayor. Okay, so the representation, who's fighting for your money, who's going to make it actually happen for you, who's going to really represent you, it's important for you to be able to vote for that person, and they don't have that on the ballot. So it's important for you guys to be able to know who that person is. Okay, so at this moment, there are 3 people that are actually running for mayor that I want you guys to pay attention to. Okay, and they're not on my ballot either. All right, I had a clip for that, but I'm not sure if I put it in. It's probably my mistake, but it kind of explains who's running. There is, what is that lady name? She's not important. Anyway, we'll come back to that so I can be able to explain to you guys more on that. But let me give you more detail on the election that is coming up. So Tuesday, on the 11th, is the last day for you to be able to vote. Okay, and if you're mailing something in, it has to be postmarked by the 11th. Okay, my suggestion and my opinion is do not put it in the mailbox. Okay, you want to make sure that your stuff is being counted and that it's being received at the right time. Take that extra 20 minutes and go ahead and go inside. It never takes me long for me to be able to vote. Every time I go, I've never been in a line longer than maybe 5 minutes. Okay, take that moment and go ahead and go. Call in and let me know what your zip code is, and I will tell you where your voting site is. Okay, and you can also find that information for Clark County voters, and even if you go to City of Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, stuff like that, you can be able to get to links to that. Okay, I want to give you a couple of stats about the ballot here in Nevada. Okay, one is, did you know that there is 358,000 plus people registered as Republican here in Nevada? Okay, and there is 468,000 plus, almost to 469,000, very close, Democrats who are registered as Democrats here in Nevada. And nonpartisan is actually 5,006. Okay, 506,000. Okay, registered to vote here in Nevada. And then also other would be around about 101,000. Okay, what I just told you was nonpartisan people who are not actually able to really participate. Okay, nonpartisan people, they get this little bitty ballot. Okay, see how as a Democrat and a Republican, you get a full entire book. All right, this is a sample ballot. Okay, their little ballot, it doesn't really look like much. Okay, there's not really much to it. But my neighbor let me borrow. I am taking this back, so y'all don't think I'm doing nothing crazy. Okay, but the people that they have on here, you don't know any of them. And most there's at least 3 different departments on here that people are not running against them. So they're just running against themselves. So they're going to win the seat to be able to move forward in November. Okay. Now, there is white people, black people, Hispanic people in this, and I want to kind of give you a different understanding of what while I'm saying that. Okay, let me go ahead and get to my picture real quick, and I'll be able to tell you what I mean by that. Let me give you. Yes, that's. I'm going to go into that. Give me 1 second so I can just tell you about the demographic here. Okay. I wrote it down. I did. Here it goes. Okay. So there is 20. Where do you believe, this is another question, where do you believe the most black people stay in this state? What city do you believe has the most black people in the state? I'll give you 3 seconds. North Las Vegas has 22%, 22.1% black people, which is also a very, very new part of the city that is being developed, and you're seeing more and more businesses come out there and everything else. So this is a great place for us to be. There is 30. When you actually look at the percentage of how many white people live in Nevada, which is, I believe, at 58%. Okay. And then you have black people, which are only at 11.8%. You have everything in between, which I'm not trying to dog anybody or forget. I'm going off of the numbers in my head. But these are factual numbers. Okay. There is 33% of Hispanic people here. People, we need to band together. We can have everything we want. Everything we want if we work together. Okay. When I talk about that, also what happens, what made me so angry about the mayor, okay, the mayor not being on the ballot, is that they are talking about breaking up the school district. And I've been against this from the very beginning. And I just want us to get a better understanding of what this is. And these are also the 3 candidates that are running for mayor. Let's go ahead and go into the clip. And they'll talk to us about it being
the mayoral primary debate with the 3 top candidates, and a contentious point of discussion, the idea of possibly breaking up the Clark County School District.
So whoever is elected mayor won't have the power to dissolve it, but they would play a key role in creating a school district if it happened. As education reporter Joshua Peguero explains, the candidates' answers have caught the attention of the teachers union.
It's a phrase you often hear sometimes during election years. Let's break up the Clark County School District.
I would absolutely like to see it broken up.
Mayoral candidate Victoria Seaman helped introduce a bill in 2015 to end CCSD as we know it, and she came close.
It passed, but went into interim committee and ended up completely different.
For her opponents in the race for Las Vegas mayor, the devil is in the details, They want to see how he looks.
That's more of a catchphrase. We need to just break up the Clark County School District. There's never been a comprehensive strategic initiative plan that talks about what that looks like.
Those people that were pushing a breakup of the school district, how is it going to work? How is it going to function? How is it going to improve educational outcomes for our children?
The most recent 8 News Now Emerson College The Hill poll showed 44% of those polled supported breaking up CCSD into smaller districts. 40% were unsure or had no opinion. We stopped by the Clark County Education Association. They say they haven't endorsed a candidate for mayor yet, but that may change after the primary.
Having only worked at Title I schools and our most needy schools, I feel like breaking up the school district is not a solution.
Right. So let's go ahead and go into this ballot really quickly. And I'm only going to talk about the Democratic Party on here because that's where I'm registered as a Democrat, but I do not count myself as a Democrat. Okay. So let's talk about the before I go into it very quickly, let me say that the school district being broken down and separated means that they can be able to separate your kids and not give your kids in your area the money that they need for them to be able to be great. If you remember for COVID and they shut the whole entire city down, there was schools in West and North Las Vegas that did not have computers to take home. The kids sat there for an extra 2 to 3 months behind that without any additional information about moving forward with their education. And the kids in Summerlin, Green Valley had tablets. They were already started, and that's not fair. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Okay, they already don't give us any money on this side of town anyway. I don't think it's fair, and I am not voting for a breakup of the of Clark County School District. Now, if you decide that you're going to give the money equally to each school and not just go off of how much money that community brings in, I will revisit this. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the ballot. United States Senate. This is a 6-year term. You have Jackie Rosen, you have Mike Sheffer, and you have Troy Walker. Now, I want to say this. Troy Walker was used to have a show here with us with the late Dr. Dillard, and they were funny. Okay, their show was kind of political. It talked about local information and stuff like that. Troy, I'm going to be very honest. I don't think you're ready for this position. I love you though. Okay, I'm going to be very honest and say that you only got $700 worth of people putting money towards your campaign, and you are going against a lady that has over $46 million. Okay, I understand. I wish it was better because I think that you are a better candidate, most definitely. Okay, all the way through. I think that you would care about the city and everything else. But she's killing you with $43 million to your $700. Okay, and I'm just being very honest. I think that if you keep pushing into this, different positions will open up and you'll be great for them. Okay, and I'm just being honest. I'm going to go with Jackie Rosen. She hasn't been horrible. She is, and Jackie, you can call in if you want to talk about this. She's pushed for the school district to be able to get more money, stuff like that. So I'm going to go with her. We have for a representative of Congress, District 4, we have Stephen Horsford and we have Levi. I'm going with Stephen Horsford. He has shown me that he is a local who will push for black business, local business, and that's who I'm voting for. You can vote for whoever you want to. We have state Senate District 4 is a 4-year term. You have Dina Neal and you have Laura Perkins. I am most definitely going with Dina Neal. She is a superstar and a hero here in Nevada, in Las Vegas. She is somebody that has been working very hard for North Las Vegas. Also, she has always been in the trenches. You see her out and about at every event, making sure that she's involved in pushing for us to be able to get more and more for our dollar here. She is the bomb. Vote for who you want to, but Dina Neal is most definitely who I'm voting for. You have State Assembly District 6, 2-year term. You have Jackson, Javon Jackson, and you have Derek
Remsen. I am most definitely going with Javon Jackson, not because we have the same last name, but because he is also one that will stand up for us. He will not just let it fall out, and he's a good guy. Okay. Nonpartisan offices, members of the state education district for District 4, they only have Tim Hughes on here. I'm not going to vote for Tim Hughes. That's my own opinion because he is the only person on there, and I'm just not. Okay. You have City of North Las Vegas Councilman Ward 2. You have Ruth Anderson. You have Lamont Riley, and you have Robert Taylor. I am going to vote for Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor be out there in 110-degree heat, knocking on every door. I believe he's hungry to be able to get involved in this community and be able to help us. He's already been doing that. And I think this is good for you guys. I hope that you push through this. Also, just to let y'all know that Lamont Riley is another black man. You might want to look into it before Tuesday to see who you want to vote for. I am most definitely voting for Robert Twix Taylor. We have Justice of the Peace, North Las Vegas Township, and that is Kalani Hu. I don't want to say ho because it's who. Okay, and she is running unopposed, so I'm not going to vote in that election. Now we have 2 ballot questions, okay, and I'm going to break them down like this. Shall the City Council of North Las Vegas be authorized to use 0.235 dollars, okay, per $100, okay, that comes into North Las Vegas to be able to for the next 30 years, okay, and that comes down to around about $82.25 per year for them to be able to put more money into equipment, maintain streets, parks, and fire departments. I'm going to say yes to that. Because I would like for my kids to have better parks and things like that. And the potholes and stuff need to be fixed. Now, for question 2, they say, should the city of Las Vegas be able to take 20 cent every per $100 to be able to assess with public safety and equipment, expenses for the police department, community correctional centers, and different things like that. Okay, this would go in effect on July the 27th, and this would be a total of $70 every year. It's not that I don't think that they deserve money. I just think that they already are getting a lot of money, and I don't see where my 20 cent per everything, every $100 is going to help them. And I'm going to say no to that one. If you feel differently, please go ahead and do so. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to these next 2 subjects, but one is I had a clip that was going to talk about Trump being a felon and what happens with the election with that. Basically nothing. And I don't think that they're going to take him to jail. Listen to me. Hey, if you want to win the election, I'm talking to the people that's running against Trump. Biden, I would say, go ahead and pardon him and just say, you can't run for president, but I'll make sure you don't go to jail. Okay. That might help you. Okay. You guys. And then I wanted to talk about the Biden executive order for the border. We would not be having, they talk about all this fentanyl and stuff like that that's coming over the border to kill every American. I just don't think that you're doing very well at your job then at the border. Okay. So no, I don't think you should get any additional money if you can't even take care of what's happening right there. Y'all, I love y'all so much. I'm so glad to be back. If you see somebody out there grinding, let them know you see them shining. This is Kristie J, and this is the Chisholm Report. We'll be back next Saturday to be able to talk this shit in politics with you. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Vote on Tuesday. There's a fish fry. There was a fish fry yesterday. It's going to be an event tomorrow. Get there. Everybody get there.
That's when they shower, scream and fight the power. That's when the vulture devours. If I was president, I get elected on Friday.